Congratulations. How does it feel to be world champion in Norway?
It's incredible. It's such an honor. I'm so grateful. Glory to God. This has been such a journey, and to be back on top again is such a blessing.
And how did
Give this flag.
Yeah.
I didn't realize someone gave that to me.
did you break your arm in the last?
No. I mean, no. That wasn't. It was an arm bar, so that was definitely not my intention to hurt anybody. She was like screaming a little bit at the end, and I didn't, it wasn't anything different with the arm, so I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be careful in here now because you're pretty strong. You're 30 years old. You have won the Olympic gold in 2016. You have the bronze from this year in Tokyo, and now world champion. You're from Rockville, right? Rockville, yeah. How are you gonna rock Norway and Oslo?
Well, I think we have to leave the country, but I've lived here before, actually. I lived here for 3 months, so it's very nice to be back.
Oh!
I forgot all my Norwegian.
Okay, then I'm gonna teach you something. Jeg best.
Yeah, that's
Yes, you are. You're the best.
Thank you.
Can you?
Hey, Helen.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Top on the podium again. How does it feel?
It feels incredible. That's such a good feeling. There's nothing like holding your flag and representing your country.
First period, it was slow. Like the pace was pretty high, but you didn't really go for it. But in the second, you're like, okay, let's finish this.
Yeah, I think one of the blessings about being a veteran is that you don't really get, too thrown off guard with things. In the semis, I got thrown for 4 at the very beginning, so I don't mind starting things off a little bit slower.
Well, talk about the score, and then you ran the bar, obviously. It's a move you've used since you were a kid, right?
You know what's funny? I forgot about this. I started doing this a couple weeks ago. I forgot that, if I watch something, I can, do it. I don't need to drill. I mean, obviously I've learned a bar, but I'll just watch things and pick stuff up. And so just kind of watching David run the bar, and I think Gilman had one, and Adeline, someone else. I was like, yeah, why don't I ever do that? Why am I spending so much time on the leg race? I'm like, let me just go for the bar. And then I think I got it twice this tournament, so it's a good move.
Yeah.
3-time world champion. The destination has been the same, but it's the journey that separates them. Talk about what makes this one different from the previous 2.
Oh my gosh, this one, everyone is different. This one was probably the worst I've ever felt. I got COVID exactly 13 days ago. So I missed the camp. I actually didn't even get to come to Norway. COVID wasn't even cleared to leave the U.S. until my 10-day quarantine was up. So I literally left on the 3rd, got here the 4th, and hadn't been on the mat since I got it. So I had no idea what to expect, just kind of praying and hoping for the best. So to be able to compete and put matches, put a tournament together, I'm very proud of that. And I saw Thomas do it too. So I'm like, oh, sweet. Way to go, Thomas.
In Japan, everyone was saying Helen is back. Now you're back on top. Was there any difficulty in maintaining the high level you're wrestling at in Japan through here?
Not from Japan through here, no, which is why, for me, I was so excited to have the World Championships, because in my mind, I'm like, we're already peaked, we're already put in all the hard work. Why the heck would we take a break and get out of shape? Mentally, if you need it, that's one thing, but for me, I missed the last 2-3 years, really, of this whole quad, so I feel fresh, and I wanted to get on top of that and just keep wrestling.
Yeah, how would you assess, really, you look as good as you've ever looked. As you kind of evaluate your career, and are you looking to Paris and beyond? Because I think when we spoke at the Olympics, it was like, do this and then take it on to the next thing. Have you started maybe zoom out a little more?
As of right now, it's more like, okay, Paris, unless God tells me otherwise. Whereas I think in 2016, I felt like God definitely spoke to me about doing 2020. And now it's just maybe take it year by year, but I'm definitely planning on Paris, unless, life changes, I don't know.
Can you talk about your experience about what you thought how you're going to wrestle, and what actually happened in the mat in all 4 of the matches?
In all of them? I was super jet lagged yesterday. I literally felt like a zombie. I honestly didn't really feel like I was. It was kind of weird. On the one hand, I felt great because I was too tired to think otherwise. But it was definitely, I've never really felt like that before, because normally I'm not coming off of a virus and sickness and not training. But I did all the prep work, honestly, leading up to it, and still had the training from Tokyo. So I still felt really good in my matches.
Did the virus severely affect you, or was it like, I can manage?
The first 2 days were really bad. I was really worried, and then got in contact with some doctors, and they just put me on medicine and just helped give me like different tips and things I could do to kind of mitigate the viral load. And about day like 5, I started feeling better.
Talk about how close this team is. First off, did you hear Forrest yelling, "Pick your head up"?
No.
During the bar? I heard her on the other side of the arena, and you picked her head up and immediately got the fall.
No way.
That just
So-
speaks to the closeness
Yeah.
of the team. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I call Forrest Mama Bear, so that's awesome. I was intuitively listening. But this team is so special. Team camaraderie is everything, and every single woman on this team has, I think, seen great victory and great defeat. And so we all are kind of connected in that, and we've gone through this journey together, and we've each overcome our own obstacles. And so just to share that with everyone, it's so special. Like the Olympics was, I don't know if you can see it on the outside, but I felt between all the men's and the women's team for the U.S., it was just such a special moment. Like that is something I'll cherish forever. And it's awesome to carry this into Oslo.
Training in Arizona, Coach Perry, how has that been? Is that where you kind of see yourself for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I mean, Perry's phenomenal. I really thought I was just going out to Phoenix for a last camp before the Olympics, and then I was going to retire. And then even, I came back and still it was about getting ready for Worlds, so not apartment shopping or looking to set roots. So it's been all over the place, but just Perry as a coach, he's done so much. He does so much for his athletes. He'll go above and beyond, and he's just been such a huge help for me. And it's really nice that he, I think, knows me and knows that I know what I need and that he can just trust me. And we just have a good dynamic. So.
At a different point in your career, how would getting COVID 13 days before, off the mat 10 days, jet lag when you're wrestling in the world semis, a lot of wrestlers that would completely unnerve them. They're, kind of creatures of habit in the routine. How were you able to kind of overcome that?
It's really interesting because I've been competing on the senior circuit since I was really 13 years old. And so this is my 11th World and Olympic team, but I've done countless of tours. And so when you're doing like 10, 12 plus years straight, there's a bajillion things you're going to face. You do back-to-back tours, you lose your luggage, you get sick, you get injured, something doesn't go your way, you don't sleep the night before. So honestly, I think as a veteran, it's really like kind of nothing's really new at this point. So maybe I had never felt this specific way before a tournament, but I was just telling myself, you've felt crappy before, you've felt out of it, and you're just find a way. So I think that's kind of what helped me through that.
What's your first title since 2017? What's the difference now?
There is a huge difference. I think from 2007. Actually, you know what? When I won 2017, I walked off the mat and I turned to a loved one and I said, I don't know if that was worth it. Like I don't know if this is worth it anymore. If this was worth the work that it took to put in, and not the hard work that wrestling takes, but some of the external things. And there was like a lot of extra burden that I wasn't managing well, and that I think I really had to step away and be able to separate, like, what is wrestling require, how much do I love that, I know I love that never changes, and so what are the other things that I need to change to make this enjoyable and doable. And so, and I think also, sometimes if you don't do it, God will kind of show you in another way, and I think the injuries were maybe that way of getting me to really step back and change things. So I'm so proud of the way that I am as a person now, the way that I compete, the way that I approach wrestling, approach life. Like, if I had lost, I wasn't gonna feel any differently about myself. It wasn't gonna be this big deal. I have so many other dreams and goals, and winning too, that doesn't change anything. And I'm just really grateful because that's kind of what I wanted out of sport, was to like the person that I am and be proud of the things that I have inside.
Well, hey, congratulations, Helen. Enjoy this one, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm leaving to Greece after. So I will enjoy it.
I was just going to ask, you have to sacrifice so much to get here. What's the reward?
I don't know, everything, the experience, the journey. You know what, I was telling myself, I think I was focused too much on winning in Tokyo, and I don't think that winning is the highest objective, and I think when you have a reason that's like bigger than yourself, that's better, and that's just where I find success. And so I went to a refugee camp in Greece after the Olympics, and the kids were so excited, and it was really eye-opening because they're like, why would you come here? why are you visiting us? Our president doesn't visit us or doesn't care about our country. And so these kids have been through so much horrible atrocities, and they like couldn't believe it. And so I started teaching them wrestling. I didn't think they were gonna like it, and they're like, teacher, please come back, teach us for a year. You know, we won't go to swimming. We'll do whatever you say. We'll go to bed early. And so I was like, all right, I'll come back for 1 month. And then I was like, if you guys do this hard workout, and if I see you're serious, I'll come back. And these kids did everything. Like they were, I couldn't get them to stop wrestling. It was wild. So I'm actually going to move to Greece from October to December.
In Lesbos?
Yeah. So I'm going to teach kids wrestling there, and then I have different women coming to visit and train with me. So I'll still be training.